Hey everybody, Will Fix here. Got another video for you today. Rather than jumping straight into it, we're going to jump into a letter written to Ripple from the Bank of International Settlements. And it's interesting. This was, it's almost, well, it's been over a year. It's May 30th, 2023. This letter was sent. I haven't seen anybody cover this, but it's really interesting because it's making a big statement just by existing. But just by the fact they ask them the questions. But before I do that, I want to address some of the comments, and I've had a good time in the comments. I've had many people, you know, if you look through the comments, when I say many, you know, 8 to 10 saying the same thing is a lot. Saying, why don't you cover $1 first? The XRP going to $1. Why are you doing all these big numbers? And I get it. It would be, first of all, it would be very underwhelming, wouldn't it? XRP is going to go to $1, you know, and I know some people will respond to this and say, no, we wouldn't. Well, just go back and look through my videos and look at the views. Okay, so you're communicating to me more. I'm being more communicated to by how many views show up for something than I am the statements of a few. The statements, you know, that are put on there say one thing, but if I have 15,000 views on a price prediction that's 10,000 to 35,000 or 10,000 views, and I have 5 people go, why don't you cover it, you know, on $1? Well, for obvious reasons. I mean, you know, one of the ways that we communicate is by views. So if everybody's wanting a certain thing, then you know, I feel obligated to want to give it to them. And by the way, I've only made one price prediction. All of the price predictions that you see are somebody else's. I'm covering things that are interesting. Now, I like the big price predictions because my very first video that went viral, my first video that I ever did concerning crypto went viral to like 47,000, 48,000 views. Monetized the channel in 2 days. Huge response. It got covered. The very first video I ever did was covered within a week or so by Zach Rector, and I forget the other guy, but they covered it. They liked, you know, what they saw in it, and because of how I see things, I can, and I believe it lines up with reality, I can show XRP going to those huge numbers. And you know, I did a sheet of I created a spreadsheet with the math that has the number of tokens and how much money. What I did is calculate if an institution moves $5 billion a year. I divided that by 365 and got the daily amount, because they're not going to do it all at once, are they? So I thought I would do an average. After I averaged several institutions that Ripple already has contracts with, the price of Ripple would have to be over $100. I can do that real fast and see that. That's easy. I can prove that with math. So it's, you know, it's not me just, you know, making up some crap or wishing and doing all this, which led me to the idea of, when I saw that it was designed for a 5-digit number for 10, 15, 20, 25,000, I guess up to 99,000. When I saw that drops were, what is there, a million drops in an XRP? When you see that type of a fraction that it's already built for, that's telling you something. That's advanced planning, you know. So when I looked at that, the next thing that I looked at was Well, that all depends on available coin, which brought us to market cap, because I ran into the same problem that some of you run into when you start calculating what the market cap would be. You end up with this enormous number at 25,000 per XRP. So you think that the average person just goes, that much money is in XRP or whatever market cap they're looking at. They believe that much money is in that coin. That's not how it works. Doesn't work that way. So whenever I saw those big numbers, that's why I had to, because of those huge numbers that looked like an impossible amount of money, that's why I investigated deeper. Now, a lot of people already knew what I learned, but I ended up learning market cap is only a reflection of the last sale times how many all the coins are. Well, crap, that doesn't mean jack. I mean, if we, you know, like I've said probably 10 times, 10 different videos, if we go to, let's pretend there's only 10 exchanges for the sake of this conversation. There's 10 exchanges. And I call all the exchanges, and they're my buddy, and I go, hey, nobody sells an XRP for 50 cents. You know, that's what the price is today. Nobody sells one unless it's $1. So everybody change your price, stick it up as $1, and every exchange sells one for $1. And they sell one. They sell 10 XRP. Each exchange sells one. Well, instantly, the market cap, once that price is reflected, which it'll be reflected real soon. I don't know how long those reporting's happening, but it happens real fast. They will calculate the price of XRP, the market cap, times how many coins there are in existence times $1. Okay, and it would be the same way if they said don't sell one and 10 sold for $10,000. The market cap, even though only $50,000 or you know what, $100,000, I say 10, $100,000 transpired. Only $100,000 went into XRP, but 10 of them sold for $10,000. What's the market cap going to be? $10,000 times all of the coins. So that's a fictitious number. That number doesn't mean that much money is in the coin. The next thing I learned about Ripple XRP was that they will drive the price of their own coin up. You can look it up. I can't substantiate that this second, but I searched through Grok and Ripple and saw that they can control their own price through necessity. Now, what's the necessity? Liquidity. What is their biggest value? Liquidity. That they can have the resources available, that it's liquid, it can convert to any coin, do any coin, so it's got to be able to support the amount of money or the whole system is gone, okay? So the fact that the Bank of International Settlements and the International Monetary Fund and all of these banks and all of these institutions and entire countries are going with Ripple XRP, there's whole countries going with the money, okay, going with all of their money being on Ripple and using XRP and anyway, it's the process of thought from my first video that led me to discover these things about Ripple XRP, the pricing of it, and the fact of how that it works, because I had to conclude, you know, where's all this money going to come from? Now, when you add in, you know, some facts that you learn about other coins like Ethereum and how much money in Ethereum is actually from the tokenization of real world assets, you find out that a lot of the support and price of Ethereum is from tokenized assets. Guess what's coming to Ripple? You know, real world assets. You start adding in the other factors. I'm not trying to redo the videos that I've done in the past week, but you get to the channels where XRP developed those channels that bypass the nodes temporarily until someone makes a demand on the money. You know, the micropayments, and they build up, and then when somebody makes the demand, then it goes and performs the action through the node to certify, or record the transaction. Then you add to that the ledger protocol. That was it, the interledger protocol. Then you're stepping up to 70,000 transactions a second from 1,500, and then you combine all of those things. You end up with a product that can handle the job. Also, when you load an entire economy on there, I want to mention this. There's a thing in money, when you study money, there's a thing called velocity. The velocity of money. Well, what does that mean? Well, on average, a dollar gets used 110 times a year. There's 52 weeks. So, the dollar that you went and spent goes into the store, then the store ends up depositing it in the bank, then the store pays a bill, and that goes to the electric power board. The electric power board puts it in their account, then they pay an employee. So there's a velocity on dollars. So whenever you calculate how much money is going to be in a country, you don't just calculate, well, this country has, $50 billion in GDP, so we're going to throw in $50 billion. How much does that affect the price of Ripple? It doesn't work that way. It's how long does it stay in the system? How much is the daily transactions? The velocity of money all over the world, the same money. So you calculate, and there's this much money, yeah, but it's being sent and sent and sent and sent and sent and sent and sent. It's being sent all over the place. So you have this tremendous amount of cash flow. So 70,000 transactions a second is, that's simple, right? That's probably what we're going to need. So I'm saying all of that to back up the idea of, yes, I absolutely believe wholeheartedly that XRP is going to go past the 5 digits. It's going the minimum of 5 digits, $10,000. Yes, I do believe that. I believe it's possible. I've actually calculated some of those figures. I made available. Go back and find the spreadsheet. I'll send you the spreadsheet. I'm not going to put it in this video. You'll have to go back and find the video and watch it. I guess search the word spreadsheet in my videos, or just manually go back. There's a spreadsheet. It's got my email in there. I'll send you the spreadsheet. You can look up for yourself the institutions, countries. You got to go with the velocity of money, of how much is moved every day. Start adding that in that spreadsheet. It'll divide out 365 days. I also did it where there's 5 days a week and eliminated the weekends, because although XRP will be 24/7, not all banks are. So just use one of the figures you want if you want to go conservative. But it is going to go over $10,000 if it's going to follow through with everything that they've already set up. That's just the way it is. It's math. If you can find a new math that bypasses all these things I'm saying, you make me a video and show me where I'm wrong. I'll change my mind. I mean, I'm not trying to make up information, but I'll change my mind. I'm very teachable. I love to learn about XRP. So one of the things in this message today, in this video today, is this letter I found that was done last year, where none other than the Bank of International Settlements sent this to Ripple, asking them for advice. Why did they ask Ripple for the advice? I wonder why. Because Ripple knows what they're doing. Well, if Ripple's answering all of these questions, is Ripple going to be a part? Why are they asking Ripple? I mean, just think about it for a little while. Why are they asking Ripple these questions we're getting ready to look at? Because Ripple has the answers. Ripple knows what they're doing. And they already knew, well, hey, we'll ask Ripple these questions. So I'm not going to look at the answers. I want to scroll through. We're already at like 16 minutes. Go ahead and get you a decent wallet. There's your decent wallet commercial. The link that they gave me is a link that has a discount all the time. I'm offering it because you get a discount. Yes, they pay me. I am okay with making a little bit of money. If you're not okay with it, hey, don't buy from me. Buy from Amazon. But I promise you, if you buy one, someone's making some money. So it supports the channel, and I have a lot of fun. There, the commercial's over. Now let's look. Ripple, okay, welcomes the opportunity to comment on the Bank of International Settlements, BIS's consultation on ISO 20022 harmonization. The consultation. Ripple would like to thank BIS for the in-depth and comprehensive analysis that has been undertaken in drafting the consultation, as well as the opportunity to provide our comments. Ripple has valuable experience in implementing a more harmonized cross-border service, particularly through our service RippleNet, which we hope will prove useful as you develop your work in this area. All right, so I'm not going to read all of this because I don't want to belabor it, but look at these questions that Ripple answered. Consultation responses. Guiding Principles, Section 2. Question 2 presented to Ripple. Question: do you agree with the guiding principles followed for setting the requirements, including the platform or network agnostic approach, the level of ambition, and the future state orientation? Basically, they said yes. Look at this. Question 2. Do you agree that the inconsistent use of messages can be adequately addressed through this requirement? Yes, they answer, basically. Question 3. How could the risk of inconsistent use of messages or deviation from the business functions defined in ISO be mitigated? Would the proposed solution contribute to mitigating such risks and lead to improved efficiency of cross-border payments processing? Please explain. They're asking Ripple, who had apparently already given them some answers and some direction, and they're asking further. And so, work should be done on defining a full set of messages. And the domestic international would greatly help the harmonization of greater, more consistent experience regardless of country where the payment's being processed. There needs to be a common framework that participants are aligned. And by talking about the ISO 20022, without a common standard of these messages, content would only be a partial success for this. So they're giving them guidance. Hey, it all needs to be the same. Question 4. How do you assess the level of effort that will be required to adopt the appropriate message as defined in ISO 20022 standard? Benefits from the standards will only be realized when the parties adhere to the standard, and This is probably where they got the rules. Everybody has to be complying by, 2025? Was it October 2025? It's probably where they came up with these ideas. Question 5. Would requiring the use externalized codes facilitating faster, cheaper, more transparent cross-border payments? How do you assess the implementation effort? The use of ISO externalized codes improved efficiency, cross-border payments, reducing the need of manual intervention, increasing automation, enabling straight-through processing. Ripple's cross-border payment networks implements various ISO 20022 externalized. Wow, funny how you're asking this, because we're the solution. Question 6. Are there any limitation challenges resulting from increased reliance on ISO 20022 codes? I'm just going to say ISO from now on. How difficult would it be to overcome these challenges? Provide clear guidance of the benefits of adopting codes, cost, effort associated with adopting complex standard. They give an answer. As ISO is still evolving, fragmented interoperability, blah, blah, blah. Question 7. Do you agree that identifying a payment as a cross-border payment should be required to enhance the processing efficiency of cross-border payments? Would such a flag facilitate compliance procedures, including financial crime screening? Please explain. So this is obviously part of a conversation back and forth. And then they give the answer. By flagging the payment as a cross-border, financial institutions can more easily identify these transactions and ensure that they're processed in accordance with the relevant regulations, da 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 da. So they're talking about compliance. They're talking about, they're answering all these questions. Do you agree that the use of external code? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go to question 9. How do you assess the level of cost and effort required for implementation? Let's go to the next question. To support, let's say, question 10. Do you agree with the restricted character set of cross-border payments as described above? If not, which alternative character sets or additional characters could be included? Not sure. I want to find out what that is. Let's move on. I do want to see all these questions, don't you? Because I don't know what they are. We might hit a real hot one. I hadn't pre-read this. Do you agree that requiring times in ISO 20022 messages to be stated either in UTC or local time? Yeah, okay, well, that makes sense. Question 12, do you agree that requiring the use, I don't know what UETR for cross-border payments, we'd have to research that support. I don't know what that means. I'm going to move on to 13. I'm trying to go quickly. We're at 22 minutes, and some of y'all might already be ready to click out, but we don't know what these questions are. How do you assess the effort required to implement this requirement? Question, do you believe that the requirement for inclusion of the time and the debit of the debitors increased transparency on the time it takes to complete a process of cross-border payment? What improvements would requirement bring to end the user experience? Now, this is an important question because they're talking about the time, the debt, the debtor, and the increased transparency that obviously SWIFT doesn't have. So let's see what they say. In principle, this will help with greater transparency, and the biggest challenge is this only supports tracking after the event or activity has been confirmed and not while the payment is in flight. When you are constrained by message-based solutions, this will always be an issue. Interesting. We're almost done. Well, I'm not going to go through and read all that. That's too much to go with. But you guys, the point was established. The Bank of International Settlements is depending on Ripple to have all the answers. So the answers they're getting are from Ripple. I mean, is it a setup? I mean, it's like, I don't know. Anyway, you see what that is, right? I promise I'll close out my videos because I had somebody say, they didn't know when I was over. We are over. I'm closing out. Please like and subscribe. You guys have a great day. Thank you for watching.